Now the next dish that we're going to do is the bag of green bean or green bean salad. For that, it's possible to do either with one variety of beans or with few varieties of bean. Over here in Miznon Melbourne, we use quite a few varieties, up to 6, depends on the season. We have 4 here now. It's not really the season at the moment, but we normally use snow peas, sweet peas as well. Or sugar snap peas, one of these varieties of the peas. At the moment we have the flat beans, this is the snake beans, green beans, and the butter beans. Now the process of the blanching is basically throwing it into very boiling water, heavily seasoned with salt. Very, very important. We cook them to the right point and then we take them out into ice water. The idea of the ice water is to drop the temperature inside the bean immediately, and that kind of sets the chlorophyll inside. What happens if you don't do it, and if you don't shock the bean when you take it out of the boiling water, it'll just slowly disintegrate the color and it'll turn into this kind of beige color. As for the seasoning of the water, I have here about 8 liters of water. I want to get to about 6-7% of salt. So basically that means if you want to measure it, it's about 70 grams of salt for every liter of water. For this 8 liters, obviously it's about 300. So I'm just going to put all of the salt that I had in. It's about almost 1 cup of salt inside, where the water tastes like seawater. So it's really, really more salty than what you're used to. Beautiful. We got the right saltiness inside. Now I'm going to start blanching the green beans. I'm going to show you how I check it. I want it to start getting soft. I don't want it to be fully soft, and I want to make sure I take it out before I lose the color of the green beans. So I really want them to be nice and bright green. Each and every variety I blanch it separately because they all have different cooking time. So the green beans and the butter beans will be about 2 to 3 minutes. The snake bean can take up to 1 minute, maybe a little bit longer. And same thing with the flat beans. Although they seem very massive, they cook relatively quickly. I can take one out and bite into it. I don't want it to be too crunchy. I want it to be soft, but not too soft. So I can touch them, I can see they're still very hard. All right, so it's been about 3 minutes now. I'm gonna check it again. Yeah, you can see they're starting to soften up. They're still nice and bright and green. I can take one and bite into it to make sure. Started softening up. This is the perfect time. Everything goes into the ice water. And as I mentioned, I just want to cool it down and then I take it out. I don't want to leave it for too long. And you can see the beautiful green color that they have. We stop the cooking, we shock, freeze the cooking process. All right, so these are the flat beans. That's the last variety I'm blanching. Again, I can see that they're starting to be a bit softer. Should be okay by now. And cool them down. And again, the important thing is into a colander, just so they all kind of drip all the water. If you're doing this thing in advance and you want to keep it for a while, what I do is I take a little bit of olive oil and I drizzle a little bit on top and I kind of pat it just to keep the beans oiled from the outside. It prevents them from drying out and oxidating a little bit and losing their color. We're going to do the seasoning now. So basically I put all the green beans that we blanched, garlic, lemon, and olive oil and salt. So I'll start with the lemon zest. It's a very, very important ingredient in this dish. I'm doing about 1/3 to 1/2, depends how much you like the zest. If you have this beautiful instrument, use it, the microplane. It does beautiful zest. So I do about half of the lemon zest. I need to put about half of the lemon juice. Garlic, very important. It's super important ingredient inside, but it really needs to kind of be there, not overtake the flavor. So I use maybe 1/2 to 1/3 of a clove inside. Now I need to put salt and olive oil. So salt I put about 1/2 teaspoon and about 1.5 tablespoon of olive oil. And what I do now is I start mixing everything. I need to get all the flavors in there. What the coarse salt does, it kind of injures a little bit the skin of the green beans and allows the flavors to penetrate a little bit inside. Now you can taste it. Beautiful. That's what you want. You want very fresh. You need to feel the lemon juice. You need to feel the lemon zest. It's a very important ingredient. The garlic is just there at the background. this dish bag of green beans, and this is how we serve it. Put it into this paper bags that we have here, and we kind of plate it to look nice and fresh and sexy. Very important for food to be sexy.